welcome to Asa Television News. I am Emanuela Akwaya. First, the headlines. DSS asks court to foreclose Sowore's defense. NIDCOM confirms release of Nigerian girls detained in Mauritius. Balogun aims to join Tottenham. Now the news details. Former Vice President of Nigeria and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has condemned the presidency's attack on the Catholic Church and one of its most respected clerics, Cardinal John Onaiyekan, describing it as yet another demonstration of the Tinubu administration's growing intolerance of decent and uncomfortable truths.
In a statement issued by his senior special assistant on public communications, Frank Schreiber, Atiku said it was both unfortunate and dangerous that instead of reflecting on the substance of the cleric's message, the presidency chose the familiar path of intimidation, ridicule, and political attacks. The Catholic Church has for generations stood as one of the moral voices of the nation. Its bishops and priests have constantly spoken for the poor, the oppressed, and vulnerable, irrespective of who occupies Asu Rock. Their duty is not to flatter those in power, but to speak the truth to the power. The Catholic bishops demonstrated rare courage by looking at the president in the face and telling him the bitter truth about the state of the nation, Nigeria. That is precisely what patriotic religious leaders are called to do, not to decorate power with praise, but to confront it with truth. It urged other religious leaders, regardless of denomination or faith, to emulate this example by speaking truth to power whenever the nation interest demands it. Mania Osibi, Asset Television News.
The Department of State Services on Monday, August 3, 2026, prayed a federal high court sitting in Abuja to foreclose the defense in the ongoing trial of the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, for allegedly frustrating his trial.
The DSS is prosecuting Sowore for alleged criminal defamation, cyberstalking, and incitement over posts he made on his social media platforms in 2025, calling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a criminal. Counsel to the DSS, Akinluko Kehinde San, made a request by way of an application before Justice Mohammed Umar after Showere's lawyer Adeyinka Olumide Foshuka San sought an adjournment into the matter. When the case was called, Olumide informed the court that the matter was scheduled for continuation of defense, adding that he has been reliably informed that a DSS witness was in court to represent the Director General of DSS, Oluwatosin Ajayi, adding that unfortunately it was not possible for them to proceed, saying that he filed an application since July requesting the judge to attest to some documents which he planned to use in leading the substantial witness, but discovered a few minutes to the beginning of the hearing that the request had been granted, and blamed the court registry for the mix-up. But counsel to the DSS opposed the excuse given by the defense, stressing that it was part of a deliberate tactics to prolong the trial. The defense counsel thereby submitted that at the last adjournment date, it was agreed by all parties that a nominated officer from the DG of the DSS will appear in court to testify for the defense. Kehinde therefore urged the court to foreclose Sowore's case, urging that he was merely wasting the court's time, and further said that the court had repeatedly granted Sowore's opportunities which had been deliberately and persistently frustrated. Relying on Section 36, 4, and 6 of the 99 Constitution as amended, Kehinde urged the Constitution only grants an opportunity to be heard and not an unlimited right to delay proceedings. The defense counsel also cited a 2011 Supreme Court decision between Segun Ogunsanya against the state to support his argument, thus submitted that the Supreme Court held that a deliberate attempt to stale a trial should not be entertained by the courts. Olumide Fashoka accused Kende of blaming every problem on the defense, including his own refusal to produce a substantial witness. The judge has adjourned the matter accordingly until September 20th, 2026 for further hearing. Mania OCB, Asset Television News.
Asset TV will be back after the short break. Stay tuned for more news updates. Welcome back from the break. Nigerians in Diaspora Commission (NIDCOM) has confirmed the release of some Nigerian girls who were previously detained in Mauritius. In a statement issued by Abdul Rahman Balogun, the Commission's head of Media, Public Relations and Protocols Unit, says Abike Dabiri Erewa, who is the chairman of NIDCOM, is in close engagement with the relevant Nigerian embassy, which has formally taken up the matter with the authorities concerned to ensure accountability and prevent a recurrence. According to her, the girls have been safely released in Nairobi and currently en route to Nigeria. The NIDCOM chairman expressed empathy, hoped that the affected ladies would be willing to share their experiences to inform any necessary follow-up actions and support measures. Kebbi State Police Command has confirmed the release of Honorable Justice Farouk Hassan Bonza, a judge of the Kebbi State High Court, who was abducted from his residence in Bonza local government area a week ago. In a statement by the command's public relations SP, Barishir Usman said the abductee was released earlier Monday, 3rd August 2026. The statement said his release has been confirmed by his family and the State Ministry of Justice. Although the kidnappers made a ransom demand, the command maintains its firm stance against ransom payments. With the release of the judge, the police and other security agencies have intensified investigative efforts to track down the perpetrators and bring them to justice. The command appreciates the support and cooperation of the public and partner security agencies throughout this period and reassures residents of its unwavering commitment to protecting lives and property across the state. Justice Farouk Hassan Bonza was kidnapped in his home at Bonza Town in Bonza local government area of Kebbi State last week. USS superstar Folarin Balogun has been offered to Tottenham. It comes amid Tottenham's manager Roberto De Zerbi being on the lookout for a quality striker to compete with Dominic Solanke and provide squad depth. And his prayers may have been answered in the form of a World Cup wonder and former Arsenal star. Balogun currently is the star of League One outfit Monaco, having left the Gunners in 2023 after 15 years at the club. Asset TV Sports Desk says that Balogun's representatives approached Tottenham directly with a proposal and that the player's availability for a competitive fee has made him an attractive option worthy of serious consideration at Spurs. The shocking decision, which came after pressure from US President Donald Trump, was arguably the biggest scandal of a controversy-packed tournament. Balogun made just 2 appearances in the Premier League for Arsenal, but being in and around the squad in the competition for the season minimizes the abduction risk compared to some other options. Family members and friends on Monday gathered in Abuja to pay tribute and their last respect to Jofaya Naka Gopa, who passed on last week. Among them include former Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talen, who described Jofaya as one who believes in what she does and hopes that her passing will change the situation of women in the politics of Nigeria.
if she's here, she will turn things around. Any day, anytime. She has this spirit of strength, courage. Our pastor said something, and I believe it, I claim it, because of the burning desire of love Joker has for men. When she came and seek my advice to go into politics, I told her, I said, Joker, you know I want more women to contest, but I'm worried about your health.
Speakers at the event eulogized the virtues the late Jofaya was made of, especially in carrying out her humanitarian activities.
Now we're talking of Jofia in the past tense. It's difficult. I just want to, there was one thing she has always shared with me. She said, Auntie Mo, I look forward to the day that Nigerian women will be united in true spirit.
She was radiant and beautiful. She was everywhere. She really added flavor to the occasion. To my fellow women, we are mourning, but we don't mourn like unbelievers.
As the Gambia's High Commissioner to Nigeria, I am joined by the staff of our High Commission, united in this moment of reflection and human rights. More importantly, I come before you as a close friend and a brother to our beloved Honorable Dr. Jofia Naka Bupa, and to all those who cherish her.
Earlier, in her welcome address, former National President of National Association of Women Journalists advised families and friends to accept what has happened in good faith, for no one can question God.
Fearlessness, courage, and boldness. So this evening, as we gather in this solemn assembly to remember our dear friend, daughter, sister, and mother, mentor, and mentee, we remember somebody who came here, fought the good fight, and left.
Also speaking, Pastor Mercy McWilliam, in her exhortation titled Rest, prayed for the repose of Jofia's soul.
Dr. Jofia has been a sister and a friend far back in Jos when we were growing up. Recently, I've always been communicating with her even in the time of her crisis. Most times she will call me when she's alone and we'll sit and I will encourage her, preach the word of God, and we'll pray together.
And that's the news at this moment. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles for more news updates. On behalf of the news crew, I am Emanuela Akwaya. Thanks for watching.